Okay, so I'm all done with the installation of my DMY, my Mutazu DMY trunk on my 1997 Yamaha Royal Star Tour Deluxe. I'm very happy with the way everything turned out. The trunk is beautiful. The paint, the quality of the paint seems pretty good to me. No scratches were on it. It matches the rest of my bike almost perfectly. I mean, I don't know how many different colors of black there are, but it matches it really well. Even under the lights here in the garage, it looks great. Out in the sunlight, it looked great. Quick little review of I guess what it took to install the trunk, so that anybody out there getting ready to buy one knows. The very first thing you should know probably is that it does not come with instructions. That's probably a pretty important thing to know going into this. So these YouTube videos are going to be helpful for anybody going forward that wants to install one. The trunk comes pre-drilled, and I think when they drill them, they drill them with, because they put, you got two here, two out wide, two here, and two out wide. And I think that they're hoping that somewhere in that mix of 8 holes, it's going to match up with whatever saddle, with whatever luggage rack that you have on your bike. My luggage rack, obviously, as it always goes for me, didn't work at all. It's shaped kind of like almost like a V. It doesn't come to a point or anything, but starts out wide up here where the sissy bar is, and then kind of tapers back down, and like this, and like so. So what I ended up having to do, actually the luggage rack that I had, it had a couple of holes already in the design of the luggage rack down here. So all I had to do was drill holes in the trunk to match these. That was no problem. Up here I did have to drill holes in my luggage rack, which, like I said, that was not a big deal. I just took my Black & Decker drill driver and the drill bit, got right through, took just a few seconds. It's very inconspicuous. I mean, even now I could probably take the trunk off and go back to just having my luggage rack with my sissy bar, and no one would ever notice that I had done something goofy to it with drilling the holes. Very inconspicuous. What I ended up doing as far as attaching them, I think I showed everybody in the video earlier. It comes with some hardware here. It comes with these pieces that are supposed to go inside the saddlebag, inside the trunk, and then these pieces that are supposed to go underneath the luggage rack. But as you can see, I mean, this thing's bent. I mean, you can see I can just bend it with my thumb and my finger. It's ridiculously flimsy. So I started to use these. They started to bend. I chucked them. Decided to do things my own way. I had some. Had a piece of chrome steel that I cut out, bracket, I don't know what you want to call it. Basically what they are is just large washers, just really big washers. I cut out a large enough piece to give it support underneath the luggage rack, and then I drilled holes in them, obviously, to match the bolts. So I've got the bolts running through a washer, running through the rubber grommet, and then directly on the other side of the trunk, I have another rubber grommet sitting on top of the luggage rack, so it's basically between the trunk and the luggage rack. My hopes is that will cut down on any vibrations. I hate hearing stuff vibrate when I'm riding my bike. It's one of my pet peeves. So any way that I can cut down on vibrations is I'm definitely going to do it. And then obviously underneath the luggage rack, I have the washers that I made, followed by a lock washer, followed by the nut. So I don't think that, I mean, this thing is solid. It's not going anywhere. It's very solid. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the installation. I'll show you down here on my luggage rack. This is my, oh, you motherfucker. This is my luggage rack that I had. There we go. Okay, I keep hitting buttons on my phone here. This is the luggage rack that I had. I had a sissy bar, obviously, that went up here. I took the sissy bar off, left these attached to the bike, attached the luggage rack to the tour pack. One thing that I am going to definitely have to do is these right here are the brackets that attach the luggage rack to the sissy bar plate. You can see they kind of go at a little bit of a downward angle. I'm gonna eventually have to, probably tomorrow or Saturday, I'm gonna have to cut some more pieces out of that chrome steel I have and fabricate some of these that actually go up higher. You can see that that the pad for the passenger backrest sits about 2 inches lower than my Corbin seat. I don't know what it would be like on a stock seat. I didn't try because I've had this Corbin forever, but I want to raise everything up. So I'm gonna create new brackets that'll raise the tour back up about 2 inches. I think that'll look way better, and it'll give my wife, you know, more comfort for sitting on the padding. Let's see here. I'm also going to definitely going to replace this thing. I mean, this is pretty much like construction paper almost. It's like rubber construction paper. Very, very thin. This will tear. I don't know. It would tear real easy. So I'm going to replace this with some heavy duty, kind of like an all-weather mat. I'll just use this as a template so that I can cut it out the exact shape that I need. That'll go in nice. I'm going to carpet the sides of the inside of the bag, and I'm going to carpet the entire inside of the lid. And my hopes in doing that, not only will it look nice, but I want to kind of lend some weight, I guess. I don't know. Man, by weight I don't mean make it heavier. I just mean make it more solid, soundproof. Just make it nicer, basically. I don't want to hear stuff. I don't want to hear keys slapping around, hitting the plant, hitting this stuff. I don't want to hear all that. You can this thing here, the latch. It's not the greatest latch I've ever seen. It's not horrible. The key works, the lock works, the latch itself works just fine. It's just not the greatest latch. So I'm gonna eventually replace the latch, I would think. Oh. There we go. Trying to do it with one hand. Anyhow, and then another thing that I'll point out on my motorcycle, this is like I said, it's a 1997 Royal Star Tour Deluxe. It came with factory pinstriping that kind of runs the whole length of the bike along the tank and down here on the saddlebags. 3M makes a pinstripe tape that looks just like it. I mean, it's so close that no one would ever know the difference. So I'm going to run some of that along the lower third of the trunk, and in doing so, I hope that it'll kind of make it look like this trunk came with the bike out of the factory. That's my hopes, anyways. Let's see. Here's kind of a once-over of the bike here. It's a 1997 Royal Star Tour Deluxe. It's got the running lights, the large windshield, got the lower windscreens, nice chrome package. The paint's beautiful. I mean, this bike is 18 years old, and everybody that I meet when I'm out riding, nobody believes me. I've owned the bike personally myself since the early 2000s. So I've had it most of the time. I put most of the miles on it. I've just taken really good care of it everywhere I went. I drilled out the exhaust on this bike, so it's nice and loud. Doesn't quite sound like a Harley, but it's loud. It's nice. I got the Corbin seat. I put that on almost right away when I got the bike. The stock seat was okay. Corbin seat is just nothing compares to it. I mean, I've been on some trips where I've put 700 miles in on a day, and you don't even feel it in the Corbin seat. It's great. Let's see. I guess back to the trunk. I got trying to think about any questions that I may have had when I was thinking about buying this thing. Probably the biggest thing is just realize that it doesn't come with instructions, but it only took about an hour to get it all done. So if you got a drill driver and a couple of bits and a socket set, you're good to go. I mean, the skill level on this thing is probably like a 3, maybe a 4. Just takes a little bit of ingenuity and a little bit of problem solving skills, and you should be okay. I'll back up here and kind of give everybody a good look at the bike. I call her Old 97. This is my buddy's bike that we just recently I bought it in the hopes that he was going to buy it from me, and he loved it. So that's a 2001 Suzuki LC 1500, I think it's called, LC 1500 or something like that. Pretty cool bike. We got some stuff we got to do to it. Matter of fact, he's going to order the Mutazu saddlebags, and he might order himself a trunk too. He said he'll figure that out once he sees mine. But mine looks good, so I'm sure he's going to do it. Oh, okay, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a luggage rack for the top of this trunk. I didn't do it right away, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I saw some bad reviews on the actual Mutazu luggage rack that the quality of the chrome is really bad, that it flakes. Plus, I just wasn't sure. I mean, it's 139 bucks for the trunk itself, which is really cheap. And you know the old saying that you get what you pay for. So I wasn't too sure what I was going to get here. But now that I've gotten it, now that it's on the bike, and I know that it's actually pretty darn nice, I think I will go ahead and find myself a luggage rack. Definitely not the Mutazu one. I'm going to shop around and find a good high quality one for cheap, hopefully. I got a couple trips coming up soon. Oh, I forgot to point out, I put on these Kuryakin highway pegs. I'm tall, I'm like 6'3", and it's a big bike, but it definitely helps to have a little extension there. A couple of trips coming up soon for the Moonlight Riders. We're going to be going to the Redwoods in April, and then we're going to be going to the Grand Canyon in June. The April trip to the Redwoods probably be about 1,200 miles. I'm going to leave on a Friday night, get back on a Sunday night. The Grand Canyon trip in June, that's going to be a week-long deal. That's going to be about 3,000 miles. We're going to go through Yosemite, out into Nevada, through Red Rock, down into Arizona to the Grand Canyon, and then down south all the way down to San Diego, and then back up the coast, probably to like Santa Cruz or Half Moon Bay or so, and then cut back over. I live up in the Sacramento area, in a little town called Carmichael. So yeah, it'll be about 3,000 miles. I'm really looking forward to that one. That's a week long. I'll miss my family while I'm gone, but then again, I won't. So I'm sure all you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, yep, Moonlight Riders got a great summer coming up. I'm really happy with the way things have been going. And I'll try to post some videos from the trips, and I will definitely get back to everybody once I get my my luggage rack. Kind of show an installation video on that. Hopefully I can actually have someone video me doing the installation so you guys can see what it takes to do that. And I'll try to get some video of my trips coming up soon as well. All right, everybody, have a great time, and I'll see you later.